Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I am Pema Thinley, and I have my research partner, Mr. Joshim Uddin. Both of us are the current student of Masters of Construction Management at CQUniversity, Brisbane campus. So in today's presentation, we would like to present our progress until now for the research project 1. And the title of our research is on the building information modeling for building energy performance, a review of design and retrofit.
Good evening. My name is Joshim. Now I will present our outlines. Our first part is background of the research topic, and we will discuss our second part is rationale, and our third part we will discuss our research question and research objective of our topic. We will also discuss about our literature review. In fifth part, we also discuss our research design methodology and data collections. In our part 6, we will discuss about timeline and milestone of our research project. In part 7, we will discuss about challenges and solutions of our research. And part 8 will show our artifacts folder, and part 9 will go forward for our next work. Okay, this is our title. Our research title is Beam for Energy Performance, Beam for Building Energy Performance, a review of design and retrofit effectiveness. Okay.
In this slide, we'll be talking about the background and rationale for this research. So the rationale behind this study actually comes from the significant impact of the building and the construction sector, mostly in terms of the energy use and the global greenhouse gas emissions. So according to the United Nations Environment Programme, the building and the construction sector was responsible for the consumption of about 32% of the global energy use, and also 34% of the total global greenhouse gas emissions. At the same time, according to the World Economic Forum in 2022, around 80% of the existing buildings will remain by the year 2050. And by then, the majority of these existing buildings will be inefficient. This leads to the question of sustainability goals versus the existing buildings. So while BEAM has strong potentials to improve the building energy performance, most existing studies focus mainly on new buildings. This creates a clear research gap, especially in the retrofit applications, where the greatest potential of energy savings are possible. Therefore, the significance of this study will help in achieving the sustainability goals, enhance the understanding of building information modeling implementation in terms of energy performance of a building, particularly in terms of the building retrofit. And at the same time, it will also address the issue of focusing research on BEAM implementation on building retrofit other than the new buildings.
Now, based on the gaps identified in the literature, this study will be guided by the following research question and objectives. The main question of this study is how effective is BEAM in improving building energy performance across design and retrofit context. To address this, the study will explore 3 key areas. First, how BEAM is currently applied to improve building energy performance. Second, how its effectiveness offers between design stage application and retrofit scenarios. Third, what limitations and challenges affect its implementations. According to this, the objectives are examine current BEAM application in energy performance, compare its effectiveness in design versus retrofit context, identify key technical and implementation challenges, These questions and objectives will guide the systematic analysis of the literature and ensure alignment with the overall aim of the study. Then our summary and theme tables is while understanding the subject matter, it was important to understand key concepts from various journal articles. Therefore, we individually look for various articles and prepare our individual summary table and theme matrix. Once done with that, we consolidated everything into a common summary table and theme matrix and found some of articles common for both, which was bound to happen. After a discussion and common understanding, we consolidated and a total of 23 articles which are very relevant to our research topic, which was we selected. Based on these 23 articles, we developed our summary table and theme matrix, which was used for our developing this literature review. This is just the screenshot of our summary table and theme matrix from our word file.
So I'll present the summary of the literature review we have gathered through the summary table and theme matrix. So we have identified 5 key themes that are very relevant to our topic. So the first one is building information modeling for energy performance applications. So basically, the literature shows that BEAM is widely used for energy modeling, simulations, and optimization. So basically enabling better decision making across the building life cycles. And the theme is design stage versus retrofit buildings. Basically, that's the retrofit one. So BEAM is highly effective at the design stage. That's what the existing literature says, where early decision influence the performance of the building. So in contrast, on the opposite sides, its application in existing building performance remains still limited. So despite retrofit offering has the potential of offering greatest energy savings, the research is very limited in this field. And the third theme is integration with emerging technologies. So BEAM is increasingly being integrated and being used with the technologies such as the energy modeling tools, like building energy modeling, then IoT, Internet of Things, digital twins. That's basically enhancing the analysis and the decision making. And then even though there are, even though there are so many integration possibilities, right now the integration is still fragmented and not fully seamless at the moment. And the fourth theme that we have identified is the challenges and the implementation barriers. So the key challenges include the interoperability issues, data limitations, its high cost, and there is a lack of standardizations. So there is also a gap between theoretical frameworks and actual practical applications. And the fifth theme, that's the future research directions that's gathered from all the 23 reviewed articles. So the literature highlights the need for greater focus, number one, greater focus on retrofit applications, and number two, to improve the interoperability and frameworks and move towards more real-world validation analysis. So in this section, I'll just briefly talk about the research design that we are going to adopt for this research project. So our research design is mainly based on the Saunders Research Onion. So basically, you can see in this slide. So the table on the left side will show our plan to select respective research elements based on this onion framework. So we will adopt a pragmatic research philosophy as the focus is mainly on addressing the real world problem that's basically evaluating how BEAM improves building energy performance, particularly in the retrofit context. And we will use the deductive research approach in this case, mainly because the building on existing literature and established frameworks rather than generating new theory. And this research will also follow the systematic literature review strategy. So basically, using the Prisma model and everything, will be not collecting any primary data. So it will basically from the existing literatures through systematic literature review. And the methodological choice we are going to adopt is the qualitative methodological approach, where findings from the selected studies will be analyzed and will be processed through thematic analysis. And the study will adopt cross-sectional, because the study will mainly be focusing on the literature published between 2016 and 2025, and not that we are not just focusing on one point in time. So we are basically squeezing the research articles between 2016 and 2025 or 26. Finally, data will be collected from major databases such as the Scopus and Google Scholar, and will be systematically analyzed and identify key themes from all the most relevant articles, and will also be compared between each one of them, basically in terms of the key themes that we have identified, and ultimately linking with our research objectives and the research questions. And we'll also try to highlight the challenges related to BIM applications in energy performance. And this is just a sample of flow chart that we are going to adopt for the systematic review procedure. So basically, this is just a stepwise flow chart. So firstly, we have already defined the research objectives and research questions. So once this is done, we'll be developing the search criteria. So basically, these are all the requirement of the systematic literature review. If we are adopting the Prisma model of doing the systematic literature review. So we'll develop the search criteria, and after that we'll do the search and we'll collect all the relevant articles based on the search criteria, and then we'll evaluate the literature. So while evaluating the literature, all the literatures will go through some certain inclusions and exclusions and everything, and all the included or the final, then we'll be able to select some final articles. The number can differ from one study to another study. So once we get those final articles, we'll try to analyze all of these articles through critical review.
This is a timeline and project milestone of our research. We are done with assessment A1. We are planning to finalize the draft proposal by May and submit the final version by June, and also make our final presentation in June, which will conclude the research project 1. Now in the next term, which is the research project 2, we will start with actual implementation based on our proposal. We will collect and analyze the data by August, and then we will start drafting our funding and report. With this, we are planning to submit and complete the research project 2 by October. This is the Snapchat from our MS project software. We make it for our research project.
So that's the research timeline and our limestones that we are planning to do and we are planning to achieve. Now, if I take you through the challenges and resolutions while doing this research, so some of the key challenges while included in this research was basically in selecting a focus topic. So the difficulty was coming up with the topic, because since both of us were quite new in this research field, it was quite difficult for us to come up with the topic that's relevant, that's in line with the research practices. So we were actually guided by our supervisor, Dr. Hassan, which was very helpful. We had a virtual meeting with him and we discussed everything. And because of that discussion, we were actually able to finalize our topic and then reach to the stage that where we are right now. And after the selection of the research topic, another challenging thing was determining the research questions. Basically, it was quite difficult to, after selecting a topic, it was quite difficult to come into an agreement in terms of having a final research question. So it was actually resolved through supervisor discussions. And we also had to do a lot of review of articles. And then it was basically uh, daily discussion between Joshim and I. So we were actually able to resolve that issue. And then the final part was the coordination issue because both of us have our different classes, and it was actually difficult for us to come into common understanding to meet frequently. So we what we did was we actually made a plan, and then we also meet everything through Zoom, if it was not possible to meet face to face. So we tried as much as possible to discuss every time we meet in some of the same classes, and then we were actually able to resolve all the issues for now. Uh, well, that was the challenges and then the ways we actually managed our challenges. So now both of us will share our personal reflections going through this research project one. So basically, this research has been a very valuable learning experience in understanding the role of beam in improving the building energy performance, which was actually value addition to the application of beam. And I've also gained insights into differences between the design and retrofit applications. And I've also recognized the gap between the theory and then the actual real world practice of beam implementation in improving the energy performance. Not only on my research topic domain, but it has also strengthened my skills in critical analysis and literature review, which was very important for me. And then moving forward, I aim to refine the research to ensure that it's practical and impactful. So I'd like to request if Joshim could also share his personal reflections through this research project.
Okay, thank you, Prema. My personal reflection about our research topic is through this research planning, I have developed a better understanding of the importance of improving energy performance in existing buildings. Before working on this topic, I mainly understood BIM is working for 3D modeling and design coordination. But after reviewing the literature, I realized that BIM can also support energy modeling, monitoring, retrofit decision making, and life cycle management. Overall, this research helped me understand that BIM can act as a bridge between digital information and real energy saving outcomes. It also increased my interest in sustainable construction and digital project management. That's
Now, moving forward, so the way forward for this research, the way we see it is now our drafting and finalizing the report and prepare our presentation and submit the presentation, which needs to happen as per the timeline and milestone. It has to happen as per the assessment deadlines. Uh, this is the OneDrive shared folder where we save all our artifacts. So after a while, I'll show you in the OneDrive and everything. So these are the references we have used for this research process until now. So yeah, and yeah, that's it. And now I'll show you through the OneDrive folder. I'll stop sharing this and then I'll share my screen. So this is our OneDrive share folders where we store our uh, based on our folder name. So we have our individual workspaces, Joshim, mine, where we our draft our everything based on our given task. So basically, once we are done with our tasks, we discuss with each other, and then once it gets finalized, we put those tasks, finalized tasks, into their respective folders. And then now we will show you the project timeline where we have developed using the Microsoft project. Basically, these are all the activities pertaining to the research activities that has been conducted and that will be done. So these activities will contains both the activities that is done and yet to be done for this research project one, and also we have also planned some of the key milestone and activities for our research project too. So this is all of this will be uploaded and kept in the OneDrive share folder. All right. Thank you everyone.